Hey, guys and gals, and welcome back to the 3BPodcast, episode 9 with Braden, Ben, good old Black Henry, and we also have special guest Griffin Hawkins with us today. So on today's episode, we will talk about each NBA playoffs matchup, the Deebo Samuel drama, and Jay Wright retiring. All right, guys, so how was everybody's week?
So far, so good. We got Henry and I got 2 or 3 different finals tonight actually. So I'm pretty stoked. Hopefully we can get a couple shirts.
I have to play 4 games today.
Yeah.
Potentially. Ultimate Frisbee, water polo, and water polo.
That intramural life, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm doing good as well. You know, my Celtics, they be out here willing and dealing in the playoffs right now. So, but yeah, we have special guest Griffin Hawkins with us.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So to the, again, around 100 viewers we're getting now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like how do I know you? How do you know maybe Ben and Henry? Yeah, just a little bit of info about yourself.
So my name's Griffin Hawkins. I grew up here in Cookeville, Tennessee. I went to high school with Ben way back when. And then I met you through UCSC. We were in a D group together and things like that. But yeah, you know, I'm senior mechanical engineering major. I just got married.
Slide that way.
Sliding this way.
That way you can be seen.
They don't want to see me. That's all right.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah, got married last summer. So that's kind of life now, which is great. Feel like an old man, which is cool. I like that. I like going, Saturday nights, I like being at home on the couch.
Yeah,
8 p.m. It's nice.
For sure.
But yeah, I played 2 intramural games back to back, and I definitely feel like an old man this morning. But yeah, that's about me.
Well, see, it's kind of funny that we honestly should have had you on some of the previous episodes because, I mean, we were talking about, we went on our, relationship rants, kind of got off sports and talked about relationships for, 2 episodes. And I guess it would have been nice to have your opinion on some of those, So, but, I'm ready to hop on into it if y'all are. So I think the first matchup we should talk about. Well, hold up. Before we talk about anything to do with basketball, let me get comfortable. All right, I'm good and comfortable now. I got my Celtics jersey. I had to get good and comfortable and rep it, But, there we go. Okay, so the Celtics and Nets. Great series so far. We've had 2 really, really close games. What have y'all's thoughts been on it? We can start with you, Griffin. What kind of, from what you've seen so far in the series, what are some of your takeaways?
Well, I will be honest. I don't follow the NBA probably as closely as you do, Braden, but I have been keeping up with it. I've been surprised by the Celtics, not in the fact that they weren't good all year, but just the fact that how they've been able to keep up with Durant and Kyrie. I thought that those 2 were going to be, trouble to pretty much anyone they ran into this postseason. So I've been pretty impressed. Of course, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those guys they're studs now too. So nothing too crazy. But I was just looking at the numbers last night, and it's hard to beat a team when you shoot 50% from the field. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that game. I do think the stuff with Kyrie has been hilarious to watch. Yeah. His interactions with the fans. I personally don't mind it. I think the fine was pretty stupid because basketball, more than any other sport, the fans are right there. So, if they're going to interact, why can't the players interact back? So
maybe not throw up a big finger on national TV, but
I guess that's fair.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair, but I do think it keeps it pretty entertaining. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good for the fan.
My thoughts on the game pretty basic. I feel like the games have been close enough to where if Kid and Kyrie did anything, they would win the games. But Kid and Kyrie aren't doing anything, so it's when you guys, they need to step up. And yeah, we can say the Celtics defense, but everyone's going on literally recently. Tracy McGrady said that they're the most skilled players in the NBA. Compared to LeBron and D-Wade, they say they're the most skilled players. And let's say, and defense is all that stuff, but you expect the great players to play great against any kind of defense. You can't stop Kevin Durant. You're able to slow him down. 4 for 13 isn't slowing you down. 4 for 13 is you missing shots that you're meant to be making. And I think you could see that in this first half when they were up, 20? Then he got
17. Got up to 17.
Then cut down to 10 before the end of the second quarter, and I feel like that's why they lost the game. Was like when they let that big lead slip to 10. Because Celtics were like, we played as better as we possibly can. And we're this close to them, and then we were just like, okay, now we're gonna win. And one for 17 in the second half, I think was KD and Kyrie. KD went 0 for 10. That's not good defense. That's you missing shots. It's Kevin Durant. Okay, he makes harder shots with one people in his face all the time. And so you give the Celtics the credit and like say, hey, props to you guys. You guys are playing great. You guys are doing amazing. But like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, when do you guys like step up to play the basketball that you know you can play?
All right, Ben, go. I'm gonna save my little speech. I got to come back at Henry there.
Like I was saying before, if Ben Simmons doesn't play in this series, I have the C's winning. And so far, he hasn't played, and the Celtics have won both games. Obviously, KD and Kyrie have not performed to their usual levels. Granted, whether that's great Celtic defense or them just missing shots, either way, it doesn't matter because they haven't performed. But I'm not surprised at Tatum and Brown doing their parts. We all knew those are the two guys the C's are going to lean on to take that step to lead them to the next round. But it's the supporting cast that has done really well, in my opinion. Al Horford, Daniel Tice, Marcus Smart, and then the
Defensive
bench.
Player of the Year, baby.
Yeah, he did win. And then Grant Williams yesterday, he couldn't miss.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 4 different guys helping your 2 stars, that helps a lot. KD and Kyrie have had help by Dragic in both games. He has done something. But who else?
I mean,
exactly.
No, Bruce Brown. He gave you 22 last night.
He
and
did.
He shot very well from the field.
Seth Curry gave them 16.
Seth Curry gave him 17.
But the first game, like they didn't show up in both games. Where Tice, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, they've all shown up in both so far, and that's key. Like Drummond, I've been very disappointed in Drummond watching him play. That's a big guy. He's almost twice the size of Horford or Tice, and he just
Drummond got in foul trouble the first game.
He did. And Horford has done outstanding in my opinion. That was a great pickup.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. All right, so Henry, I'm sorry, but dude, you're wrong. Defense has been the main thing, and you can talk to Kevin Durant about it. You can listen to Kevin Durant talk about it. Defense has been the main thing for Kevin Durant. They're throwing 2 or 3 bodies and getting 2 or 3 sets of hands up every single time this dude shoots. And I know he's Kevin Durant, but like at the same time, when you're getting bodied coming across the court every single time you're trying to get the ball, that's going to have an effect on you. And I will say this, the Nets had plenty. That's what people have been worried about. The Nets have had plenty of help from their supporting cast, especially this past game. Bruce Brown gave you 22. Goran Dragic gave you 18. And then Seth Curry gave you 17. If that's not good supporting cast, I don't know what is. I mean, because that's them supporting.
Consistency, though.
I mean, and that's fine, but like we're talking about a 7-game series, and Goran Dragic has been there, and Bruce Brown has played fairly well in both games. Didn't play great.
He had 5 points game 1.
But he did other things. Kyrie had 39, and Kevin Durant had 23 in the first game. And
on terrible shooting.
Kyrie didn't shoot. Shoot bad.
But KD did.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is, okay, Jason Tatum did not play very well this past game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like your whole thing about Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant and Kyrie not showing up. But your whole thing about Kevin Durant, you said if Kevin Durant and Kyrie show up, then they're going to win the game. Well, if Jason Tatum doesn't go 5 for 18, I mean, you could say the same thing about Jason Tatum. If Jason Tatum plays better, then the Celtics are going to blow him out by 20-25, and then they get a comfortable win.
Just to say, to be straight up with you, you're comparing like the two completely different things right now. Jason Tatum has played played great in the game. The game 1.
Game 1, but I'm talking about game 2.
KD has played terrible. He's made 12 field goals.
Because of the defense, dude. If they weren't getting 2 or 3 sets of hands up on him every single time, listen to him talk about it in the interview, and then go watch every other single playoff series that he's been in.
KD has played in the playoffs how many years of his career?
Yeah, and
it's
when
just
is he?
now
When
that
has he played this bad? When has he played this
exactly?
bad?
That's what I'm saying. And he's always double team, triple team.
No. There's a difference between the way that the Celtics are
It's
playing
Kevin
defense
Durant.
and everybody else is
Kevin
playing
Durant.
defense.
Who is playing defense on him? Like what? So
The Celtics were the number 1 ranked defense.
And we were
in the NBA, defense is not that important anymore.
And
what do you mean? And
we were number 2. Golden State was and.
So
It doesn't matter.
Kevin Durant has said it multiple times. And again, this is even without Robert Williams. But Kevin Durant has said it multiple times. They are bodying me on every single thing I do. It doesn't even matter if he has the ball. They are coming and they are taking care of Kevin Durant and Kyrie. And if you want to hold up. If you want to come for anybody on the Nets in the Nets organization, you go for Steve Nash, the head coach, who is not drawing up plays, who is just letting them play rec ball. That is what's going on right now. Ime Udoka is just a better coach than Steve Nash.
I'll ask you a simple question.
Okay.
If Jason Tatum came into a game and went 4 for 13 in the field, will you say it was
He went 5 for 17.
And you thought that was good defense by the Nets? Or just started playing bad?
No, Jason Tatum just didn't play good.
Okay.
But the Nets are not good at defense.
Who's better, Kevin Durant or
the Nets are not good at defense, Henry.
Who's better, Kevin Durant or Jason Tatum?
That doesn't matter.
No,
that doesn't matter.
Tell me who's better.
Kevin Durant's better.
Okay, cool. So as a great player, we know you're a great player. Let's assume that you were KD. And you're talking about all this defense. It's the playoffs, man. Defense is always better in the playoffs. They're playing for you and what you do.
Yes,
as a great player, defense, that can be your excuse. They're touching me up, and they touch everybody up. If that's the case, Giannis should be playing terrible in the playoffs.
Dude, go watch. Kevin Durant and Giannis are 2 completely different types of players. Giannis is 10 times thicker. Huh?
DeMar DeRozan yesterday, they touched him up. He dropped 41.
DeMar DeRozan just went off.
As a great player, that shouldn't be your excuse. Is they're playing good defense on me. Everybody plays good defense on Kevin Durant. Everyone doubles Kevin Durant. Everybody puts 2 hands in his face.
I am not saying that excuses him for shooting 4 for 18. I am saying that the defense is having an effect on Kevin Durant. That is what I'm saying. And you're playing it off like the defense has had nothing to do with it.
You can say good defense by the Celtics. I did say that, did I not? I said you can say it's good defense, but I did say that. I'm just saying, as a great player, that can be your the overwhelming, because it's Kevin Durant. Everyone double teams Kevin Durant. Everybody double teams Steph Curry. Everybody double teams Jason Tatum.
I don't know about that.
It is. It's the truth.
Not like the Celtics have.
In a playoff game,
they have 3 or 4 people that are constantly throwing their hands up as soon as Kevin Durant shoots it.
Okay, so what's Kyrie's excuse?
And the Celtics have played great defense.
So what's Kyrie's excuse?
Well, first off, he needs to quit Ramadan. He needs to quit Ramadan. If he wants to play healthy NBA ball, he needs to eat something besides a banana at 7:32 in order to fuel up. That would be a good.
Well, he dropped 39 on that banana in Ramadan in the game 1.
Oh, hold up. But we'll continue. We can continue this in a second. I do want to talk about this. I'm sick and tired of people talking about Kyrie Irving as a black man being insulted by the fans of Boston. It has nothing to do with your skin color, bro. It has to do with how you left the organization. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're being black. That is getting on my last nerve, okay? Listen, if you wouldn't have left in such crappy fashion, it could have been a white person that left like that. If it was a white person that left like that, they still would have had the same reaction. So, I'm tired of hearing this in sports. It's always like a black against white narrative, and people wonder why we have such a struggle and race is apparently still an issue in a lot of cases. It's because we keep making comparisons where there's none there. This has nothing to do with race. This has to do with the player and what he's doing when he plays on the court. That's what that has to do. And I'm sick and tired of reading the headlines of people talking about that. I just wanted to make a statement on that because that gets on my last nerve. But anyways, yes, they have not played great. Back to what you're saying. Kyrie and Kevin have not played great. And it's partly on them. I'd say 60% of the blame is on them. But I'd say the other 40% is Boston is playing really good defense against Kevin Durant and Kyrie because of what Ben was stating. And listen, I mean, if I'm the Nets, I'm happy with my second team. Not my second team, my supporting players. I'm happy with them from last game. You had 3 players that were over 15 points, and I don't know how you're not happy. I mean, that's over 45 points, Ben. That's not Kevin Durant or Kyrie. I mean, okay, so we talked about how bad Kevin Durant played. They scored 107 points. Kyrie played terrible. So, I mean, it's not the supporting cast's fault. It's Kyrie and Kevin and the Celtics defense fault. And hold up. And last thing I'm going to say, and then y'all can make y'all statements. The Celtics are just playing. They're just that team. The Celtics are just that team, defensively and offensively. Jason Tatum had a crappy night, but you know what? We have other players that pick it up. Grant Williams, 3-and-D guy, man, he is making it work for the Celtics. Making it work for the Celtics. When nobody else was going, Grant Williams got us like a jolt of energy going, and we started picking it up from there. Kept us really in the game in the first half. But the Celtics, they're just that team, and I don't, again, I stated it 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They're winning it all, especially if Robert Williams comes back. So that's what I got to say. What y'all got? Throw something back at me if you want to. Because like Ben, the supporting cast has been killing it. They killed it last game.
First game, they didn't do anything.
I mean, that's fine, but
it's consistency.
I will say, I think to Henry's point, he wasn't saying that the Celtics defense wasn't doing anything. He was just saying if you're Kevin Durant, defense should not matter. I don't care how good the defense is. Mm-hmm. There's that point where you have to be Kevin Durant, and he's not being that right now. And again, that's not discounting the Celtics defense at all, because they are playing great defense. This is probably one of the toughest defenses KD's seen in the postseason. But it's still the fact of the matter that KD's, I mean, depending on who you talk to, top 5 ever. Yeah. Probably the most elite scorer in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, he has to be KD, and defense doesn't really matter at some point when you're the most elite scorer of all time.
Yeah, and I understand that point, and like basically what I'm saying back is how many times have we seen KD ball out in the playoffs, and the fact that KD isn't balling out in the playoffs with such ease, I think that shows you how good the Celtics defense is.
Right. I mean, I do think they are one of the tougher defenses he has seen for sure.
Statistically speaking, it looks like they're the toughest as of now. You know, so anything else y'all want to add on the series? No. What? Why? Why? No, take the mic back. What you got to say? What you got to say?
I'm going to say because you're going to be. Oh, yeah, Celtics are good. So there's no arguing with you at this point. So we're going to let it play out.
Are you saying they're not good?
No, I did say they're bad, but like you're making it feel like they're the best team to ever step on the basketball court.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying between this series. I was just talking about this series. I said they're good enough to win.